Terence Bud Crawford has to fight Jaron Boots Ennis next. Man, let's get it straight. What's up with it, family? What's the damn deal, man? This is JuniorTheTruth. Thank you all so much, man, for taking time to watch this video. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate it. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Shout out to the Punch Junkie family, man. Everybody that shows love to the entire Punch Junkie brand, man. Be sure to come check us out, though. www.punchjunkie.com. The last place in the world for real fans of the sweet science. So, Pete, you saw the title of the video. You clicked on it. You know why you're here, so let's get to it. So there's a lot of buzz in the boxing world about, with regard to Jaron Boots Ennis versus Terence Bud Crawford and their potential matchup. There's a lot of moving parts with this, man. There are a lot of moving parts with this. This is following Jaron Boots Ennis's one-round stoppage over Usima Lima in his 154-pound debut over the weekend in Philadelphia, man. It was October the 11th was the fight date, 2025, for those of y'all who might be watching the archives. And following that fight, you know, there are a lot of people who are pushing for Terence Bud Crawford to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Terence Bud Crawford is just coming off of a legacy and generation defining fight. A fight in which he went and he beat Canelo Alvarez to become the undisputed champion at 168 pounds, jumping up from his one fight at 154, previously being undisputed at 147 pounds, the welterweight division. And people are calling for Terence Bud Crawford to fight Jaron Boots Ennis, saying that, you know, Boots can beat Bud, and this is a fight that has to happen, and Terence Bud Crawford needs to come back to 160 and fight Jaron Boots Ennis, yada, 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 yada. And so, those of y'all who have been following the channel, I'm trying not to make this long, but it is what it is. Those of you all who have been following the channel for any bit of time, you know that I have been one of the people who have been calling for Jaron Boots Ennis to pursue a fight versus Bud Crawford, and I was calling for Bud Crawford to fight Jaron Boots Ennis at 147 or possibly 154. That time has subsided. Like, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. That time has subsided. Jaron Boots Ennis just had a fight, his first fight at 154. Terence Bud Crawford, undisputed at 168, became eclipsed a legacy-defining fight. Also, I am a person that feels that Terence Bud Crawford owes nothing else to the sport. Like, he owes absolutely nothing else to the sport. So anything that he does beyond this is just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? And I have been calling for Bud to drop back down to 160, but that is because he can become undisputed in 2 fights if everything pans out right. You know what I mean? He could literally drop down and become undisputed in a couple of fights. And, you know, really, truly, I can't even creating a legacy that'll never be surpassed. You feel me? Like, never be surpassed. Never will we have another male boxing champion undisputed in 4 weight divisions. Like, I don't really think it'll ever happen again. And like I've said, Terence Bud Crawford is the greatest fighter of since 2004. Absolutely, like, no question. He's the greatest fighter of this whole era. And this era being the 4-belt era, which started in 2004. But anyway, so now, once again, like I was saying, I was a person who was saying that Jaron Boots Ennis and Bud, I'm definitely here for that fight. But that time has subsided because there was an opportunity with Bud becoming undisputed at 147, Jaron Ennis being a mandatory at 147, Bud moving to 54. And I was a person, if you all remember, I was saying that Jaron should follow Bud right up to 154. You know what I mean? Follow him right up to 54. Don't even fight any more fights at 147 because there are no big fights at 147. You understand what I'm saying? There are no big fights left for you at 147. Follow that fight. I think that the Bud Crawford versus Jaron Boots Ennis fight for Jaron, it was like double dutch. Like, it was like a real quick opportunity to get in there and get that fight, and it didn't happen, man. For whatever reasons, it didn't happen, and the time has subsided. And now, just honestly speaking, for Bud to go to 154 and fight Jaron Boots Ennis right now doesn't do anything really for his legacy, honestly speaking. You know what I'm saying? And when he can go to 160 and he can take himself back down and go get a title. Now, if Boots Ennis really wants to put himself in that fold, in my opinion, then he should jump up to 160 right now and try to get a title. Go get a title, you know what I'm saying? And then pop that smack. You know what I mean? Then pop that talk. But outside of that, man, like, you know, it's just one of the things we have to accept. Honestly speaking, the fighters are really truly from two different eras. They are 10 years apart in age. You know, Terence Bud Crawford is 38. I know a lot of people are just now, you know, locking in to Terence Bud Crawford, but those of us who've been around have had Terence Bud Crawford as probably the number one, or not probably, he's been the number one pound for pound for, you know, the better part of the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have literally been, you know, painting him up as number one pound for pound. Like, no question, barring nobody, like nobody off the table. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody, no Mayweather, nobody. Terence Bud Crawford was number one pound for pound. And so, you know, at the end of the day, though, seriously, you know, speaking, this is I think this is an opportunity for Jaron Boots Ennis to carve out his own legacy. I think he needs to really be intentional with fighting his contemporaries. As much as I would love to see Jaron Boots Ennis versus Terence Bud Crawford, you know, I'm not mad for them for not taking that fight and that fight not happening. You know what I mean? As much as I wanted to see it, but Terence Bud Crawford he's on a different level, man, and that's just the truth. And we gotta tell the truth. You understand what I'm saying? I understand the pressure from mainstream media of putting the pressure on Bud and talking about he has to do this and he has to do that. But we all know what that's about. If you are a boxing fan, especially one that has the same hue as me, you know exactly what that's about. At this juncture, Terence Bud Crawford went in and he dismantled the boxing populace, and now they want to see him beat by any means necessary. And also, we see Eddie Hearn doing the things that he needs to do. You have to understand Eddie Hearn's playbook. If you look back time after time after time after time, you will see Eddie Hearn has always clout chased. Pairing Jaron Boots Ennis to Terence Bud Crawford's name is nothing more than what Eddie Hearn always does, which is clout chase. He did it with Anthony Joshua and Wilder. He did it with Kell Brook, and I believe it was Gennady Golovkin, all the way up until Kell Brook actually getting dismantled and having his orbital bone broken by Gennady Golovkin. But you know, we've always seen this, and it's the same play over and over again. So you got to understand how Eddie Hearn is coming. But anyway, that's it, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. What are y'all thinking as far as the Terence Bud Crawford versus Jaron Boots Ennis? I'll be honest with you, I only want to see Terence Bud Crawford go pursue a title at 160, or go pursue undisputed at 160. If he's not going to pursue the undisputed title at 160, man, then I really want Bud to retire. Like, it's you know, that's just really where I'm at with it, man. I don't really have a need to see anything else from him. You know what I mean? And that's just real. But salute to y'all. Thank y'all so much for taking time to watch this video. Thank y'all so much. This is Junior the Truth signing off, man. I'm Ohio born, player made. If you don't know anything else about me at the end of the day, I got to keep pushing, baby.